Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to the Scrapbook Generation 6x6 series that's put on by Janet over at RTS. We are doing a hop today where we'll be doing layouts using 6x6 paper pads. So be sure to check out everyone's links, which I'll have down in my description box. So today I will be using this sketch from Scrapbook Generation, and you can see here on the sketch, it's really awesome because they add in information on the right side of this paper where they give you exact measurements to use for your strips and your photos, and also variations with the sketch, which is really great. And that is a free sketch that I'm using today. Now you can see here they have two photos on this sketch, but I'll be using that one photo along with a 3x4 card. And I am not going by the measurements that they have on their sketch. I will be just going ahead with my own measurements for the layout today. So first up, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my background. And I am using this yellow cardstock. And you can see there, I cut off about 1 inch off two sides. And I will go ahead and mat that on some strips that I'll create using this paper pad. And most of the items I'm using today is from the Autumn Splendor collection by Simple Stories. And I'll go ahead and list all of the items I used today down in my description box. Now I'm going to follow the sketch really closely as far as the layout goes, but not exactly as the measurements go. So right now I'm just going through my pattern paper and pulling out a few of them that I think will go really well. And then I'll go ahead and cut out some 2x6 strips of these pattern papers. There's just one pattern paper, the one with the leaves, to the top right corner of the screen. And I'm going to cut that into a 1x6 strip instead of a 2x6. So if you're looking for inspiration on using up all of your 6x6 paper pads, this is definitely the hop that you want to follow along with. Like I said, all of the links would be listed down below. And Scrapbook Generation actually have a new class out right now where they focus on 6x6 paper pads. And I'll go ahead and add the link to Janet's video where she go into a lot of detail describing this class and why it can be helpful. So be sure to check that out as well. So here you can see I'm cutting this pattern paper apart, and this is the one that I'll be using to mat that yellow cardstock on. Now I have about 1/2 inch all around that yellow cardstock that I need to fill in. So each of these strips will cut into about 3/4 inch wide. And here I'm just using my T-square ruler and lining up my strips to 11.5. And once I turn my paper around, I'll go ahead and line it up to the 12-inch mark. So now my pattern paper and the cardstock together will measure 12 by 12. I'm just adding a little bit of reinforcement using some washi tape on the back. To finish up my background, I'm adding in some gold splatters, and that would be with the Liquitex Iridescent Gold. Next up, I'll go ahead and start working on matting my photo. So here I'm going to mat it on some of that yellow cardstock, and then I'll alternate using some different pattern papers from that paper pad. So now I'll go ahead and use my notebook punch just to punch about 3 of the paper strips that I'll be adding behind my photo, and that's just to add a little bit of interest to those strips. So here you can see my photo is 4x6 inches, and plus you add on the mat behind it, it is a little larger than that. And of course, my strips are not going to make it all the way down behind my photo. So to give the illusion that it is going to be going all the way down, I'm going to go ahead and cut them apart like I am right now and just connect them from the top and then the bottom, as you'll see in just a few moments. Here I'm using that leaf pattern paper and adding it to some of those strips. And then I'll go ahead and add some washi to the strips as well. So I decided to go ahead and mount my photo on some foam adhesive. That way I'll add a little bit of dimension to this layout and then lay it on my background with that orange card, which I think pops a lot more than the green one does. But you'll see I did go ahead and remove my photo because I needed to add my strips in, and it was a lot easier to add the strips in without my photo being on the background. And you'll see here I am lining up all of my strips. And once I have them all in place, I'll go ahead and replace my photo on the background. So you'll see next up, I will add that orange card next to my photo, and I'm adding a little border around it using some of that pattern paper from the paper pad as well. Here I'm going to work on my top right cluster, and I'm just adding in strips of those pattern papers and also a strip of that yellow cardstock just to tie it all in together. And I'll go ahead and begin embellishing my layout. So here I'm going to add in my title, which says smile, and then I'll work on that little gap that you see to the left of my photo. I'm going to go ahead and add a embellishment cluster there. So to add my heart, my puffy heart, I'm going to use this dimensional glue dot. And next I'll add in some stickers as well as some die cuts. And you can see I am using stickers from the Autumn Splendor collection as well as the Fall Farmhouse. And like I said before, all of these items I used today will be listed down in my description box. Next up, I will go ahead and add in some leaves, also using some dimensional glue dots just to add a little bit of lift to the top of some of these leaves and add some dimension to the layout. So here I'm just going to continue embellishing this layout and also filling in that little gap next to my photo there on the left side. And you can see here where I add that little pop glue dot under the leaf just to add a little bit of dimension. And here I'm going to add one of those leaves to the top right cluster as well. And I will go ahead and cut off the part that's hanging off and add it right next to that leaf that I just adhered to the top part of this layout. So I had a few cork hearts on my desk with a little bit of gold outline on them, and I'm going to go ahead and add that to my clusters as well. Next up, I'm going to add in a little tiny bit of journaling on that card that's next to my photo with a gray ink pen. And it simply says it was Jaden and the year that the photo was taken, which I do need to go back in and add the last 4 digits of the year. I added in the 20 for 2000, but this was taken either in 2018 or 2017. I'm not quite sure. So I'll have to go back in and add the correct year that it was taken. So here I have a little bit of red going on in the clusters that's next to my photo on the bottom part, and I wanted to bring that into the top left corner as well. So I'm adding in those hearts, and here I'm gonna add some more splatters using that gold iridescent ink. And I really love how the gold looks with this collection, with the colors in this collection. Now you will notice that the bottom part of my card looks a little bit empty. So here I'm going to rearrange my stickers and bring in 2 hearts to that card just to fill in the space, and also bring a little bit of that red to my card as well. So here I'm going to add in some Nuvo drops, and I add quite a bit of Nuvo drops. The color that I'm using is either the Auburn Pearl or the Copper Penny. I'm not quite sure, but I'll add in the exact color I use in my description box. And I love how it goes with the colors on this layout today. So I hope you guys enjoy the process. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up before you leave. And if you are new to my channel, please take a look around. If you like what you see, go ahead and click on that subscribe button as well. Don't forget, check out all the other layouts, which I'll have linked down below. All of the channels to all of the crafty ladies today will be linked in my description box. So follow along on the hop and be inspired to use up those 6x6 paper pads. I want to thank you all for watching today, and until my next video, bye.